I think you saw that with Keisei when he went over and played for his national team with Japan and what that did for his confidence. And, Connor, I think I don't think he's missed a shot yet in our live play. Now, we haven't played a ton, but, he's, I think, 5 for 5 from three and made his one layup. So, he's just a guy that, the way he finished off the season after a tough ending night and, regrouped and was very important for us and winning that crown championship out in Las Vegas. So he's in a really good place right now. And again, I admire Connor for everything he's all about, his faith and, how that's really helped him grow and get through tough times. And yeah, he's just in a really good place right now. Yeah, a lot of things we're doing with our guys. They're getting out in the community a bunch right now with our life skills program that Keith Zimmer does such a phenomenal job with. And Luca, our GM, is awesome and getting our guys out there and going to hospitals and visiting schools. They were at Matt Talbot Kitchen, about 10 days ago. And, we got a pool day with them coming up. We're going to go all see Jurassic Park together, which I might be more excited than any of them for that. But yeah, they're spending a lot of really quality time together off the court, which is important. If you're close off the court, I really do truly believe that translates to on-court chemistry. And, so far so good with that. And, again, the true test is how if that continues through tough times and adversity. But with this group, I'm confident that'll happen. Yeah, I'm excited about our non-conference schedule. We're gonna have obviously some great tests in that. Creighton at home this year. Another a team that's going to be at the top of the Big East standings again. Playing Oklahoma up at the Pentagon will be an awesome early test for our team. And then the two games that we'll play in Kansas City, with three really high quality, high major opponents. And then, some quality, bye games that we'll play at home as well that'll prepare us for the grind of the 20-game Big Ten schedule. So, yeah, I think we did a good job with our schedule and excited to see where we are.
The next year sounds like all tackle batting with you with that over their second game. How would you anticipate day?
Yeah, Luca does a great job helping us with our schedule, and we've got a lot of different options. With multi-team events moving forward. Now you used to play three. Now you get the extra game if you play two. So that's in play this year. Obviously, we're playing two as opposed to a 3-game MTE like we did a year ago in Hawaii. So there's a lot of things that Luca's working on right now. To give us the most flexibility we can. Yeah, I think that's good. I do like the continuation rule and the coach's challenge. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how that whole thing plays out. We had that in the Crown where there was one play at the end of the championship game where Central Florida, if they had challenged, I don't think they had a timeout left, which would have been a technical if they missed out on the challenge. So it's going to be interesting how it all plays out. We'll experiment with it in practices. We'll have somebody that will be behind our bench, similar to what they do in the NBA, that will be the challenge guide, to tell me to hit that button. Is that how we do it? I don't even know. Is it a button? Is it a towel? Is it the flag we throw in the court? But yeah, there's still a lot of unanswered questions with it. But yeah, I do think they're both positive rule changes.
There's also a lot of momentum of expanding this into requirements. You have all.
Listen, I think the NCAA tournament is the greatest sporting event in the country, so I like it. I like it as is. Yeah, Price has been great. Another guy that can really shoot the ball, and he's got really good size and length. His brother Peyton was in the building yesterday. He's recovering from a shoulder injury, but having Price on our side, I'm excited about. We don't have to play against him first of all. Anymore, but yeah, his ability to knock down shots, and he's more than just a shooter. He can put it on the deck. I think he can initiate some offense for us. I think he's underrated on the other end of the floor, and I think he's a guy that should be able to get rebounds for us. So just a really good all-around get for us, and excited to have Price on our team. Yeah, Pat's been great. He's very detailed, and as soon as practice is over, he comes in with a list of what we need to work on, what we need to emphasize in practice the next day. He and I will go back and review the practice and put an edit together for the guys. And he's gotten us involved with some guys, that can be high-level recruits. And I know he's very well connected when the portal season rolls around as well. So, yeah, I've been impressed with Pat.
What the Bear gave me better shape, kind of rate to see on anything what they can change out.
Yeah, I mean, he's so versatile, Wilson, as you know. And, I feel bad for the kid because of how when he was playing his best basketball, he went down with a very unfortunate injury, not only for BK, but for our team. We had a really good stretch going at that time. And, he plays his best game as a college basketball player. And then, 10 days, he really couldn't do anything. And he gets a day or two of practice and we throw him back into the fire and he just never regained his rhythm. So, being in shape right now, I think gives him a much better opportunity to get back to that point of where he was when he got hurt in that Ohio State game. And listen, he's got size, length, defense. He had a good year defensively. He really did. Analytically, you look at it, he was our best defender. A guy that can rebound it, handle it. And, I think you ask BK what he's doing, he's just shooting it better. And he's worked very hard on that in the offseason, and he's shooting the ball well right now. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything until you get out there between the lines, but he's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and that needs to continue throughout the season, regardless of what happens. BK is a very he sees everything, he hears everything, and I got to get him to quit doing that. One of the best things I did is when they stopped reading Twitter during the season, and for him, you can't do that stuff and stay consistent. And that's not just Burke, it's everybody. They all got to do that. Put those stupid devices down, and not look at that stuff when negativity is going around. So, but yes, to answer your question, Wilson, BK's in a great place, and I expect a much improved year this year.
What do you think about Kendall Brew? How they were Becky into the mid-series and isn't it where he
Yeah, the thing that stands out with Kendall is his size, and a guy that will play the point guard position for us at 6'6". I think he and Jamarcus will play well together at times out there as well. But what I've seen with Kendall is his ability to get the ball into the pocket. Shot 42% from three a year ago, and just his overall length will open up a lot of things for us. I think he can post him some when he's got a smaller defender on him, just with that length. But I've really been impressed with Kendall's feel. He's a smart kid, high IQ guy, and you have to have that at the position that he's playing.
They stop playing all the women message the hot to winning them the body ridiculous. Like they up is very see
Yeah, I think there's more of them coming over right now. Part of it, I think, is the revenue sharing and NIL opportunities that these players have to make over here as opposed to starting their professional career. You look at a couple teams in our league that are really built with international players. With us, we've always tried to recruit all over, the country, the world, and, try to build the team the best you can. And, for us this year, I happen to come with a lot of guys that have international play or international experience. And, again, when you look at some of those players, just the way that they approach things early in their career, they're very fundamental, probably more fundamental than what the players a lot of times are brought over here. So that's what you see first and foremost, is a very fundamental player. Oogie, a guy, I haven't talked about him a lot to this point, but, Oogie's, you talk about a beautiful stroke. I mean, he can really shoot the ball at 6'11", and his size and his ability to finish inside. So, again, when I talked, I think it was the very first thing I said today is I think we've addressed our shooting. We're going to have five guys on the court a lot of times that can make a shot. We didn't have that last year very often, at least from a high percentage. So, our ability to knock down shots, man, that's a game changer for you on that end of the floor. I don't get to be a rocket scientist to know that, Justin, but thank God you're not. But anyway, but no, it's fun to be out there when you got multiple guys that can knock down shots. And again, the international guys have been a big part of that. As far as having other guys that can shoot, I think it really helps. It helps the playmakers more than anybody because that takes away we call it the gravity. Connor's got gravity. Oogie's got gravity. Rink has gravity. Price, really go down the line. A lot of our guys, that suck the defense closer, that opens up the lane for the playmakers. And now the help comes, and now you can spray it out and hopefully knock down shots. Listen, when you have to play all five guys in the court, we've had a couple times where we had lineups out there in the last few years where the defender could sit right in the middle of the lane and not have to worry about it. I don't think that's going to be a problem for us this year. So when you have to be accountable for all 5 guys in the court, that opens up a lot of things.
You brought up NIL. You should last part be the house versus and say everyone came out. How have you handled that as the basketball program?
That's a great question, and I thought it had been asked a lot earlier. Listen, I'll say this: there's a lot of unanswered questions as this thing will progress. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad the case was finally settled, and now we can move on with our lives. At least for the rules that we've heard. We had our league meetings in LA. We talked to our commissioner a lot about how this thing was going to take place. Talked to Troy Dannon in leadership of our athletic program about what to expect. And, listen, from everything we understand, revenue sharing is going to be the main source for these guys now. True NIL deals are going to have to go through the clearinghouse that's run by a very reputable company with Deloitte. And, we'll see how that all plays out on what a fair market value is for somebody to be approved an NIL deal. But until we see, a deal that's rejected, which I don't think that's happened yet, what exactly the parameters are within an NIL deal getting approved. So, still a lot of things I think to play out in this regard, but I am happy at least that, the way we understand it right now, there's going to be some guardrails in place. And now it's about, playing within the rules and, hopefully doing the best job you can with pretty much what the way we look at is a set salary cap for your roster, whatever the decision is by Troy, for what we'll have to operate under. So, we're in constant communication on it, and we're going to do the best job we can in this new landscape.
Follow up. What about with players? Have they come to you and talked about it? Have they said, "Hey, what's called moving forward? I'll begin back on."
Yeah, not to this point. No, most of them have representation. The ones that don't, certainly will have conversations when the time is right. They are getting educated on that. We have people within our athletic department that do help them, with the education process and the education piece as we go into this new era of college athletics. But as far as going forward talks, as far as future, no. I mean, our roster's set this year. Everybody has, what they're going to get, and then, we'll worry about the future when it comes.